Megan thought her best friend's betrayal was about jealousy or a man. But when Dr. Phil showed her the timeline, jobs lost, relationships sabotaged, medical records altered, the truth didn't just reveal a grudge. It revealed a revenge plot that started before they ever met, and Megan's dead sister was the reason why. Megan's hands wouldn't stop shaking. She'd been crying for what felt like hours, and her face was raw and swollen. "Tell me what happened," Dr. Phil said gently. "I don't even know where to start." Megan's voice was hoarse. "My best friend, Sarah, we met 7 years ago. She was perfect, supportive, always there. We did everything together." Past tense, Dr. Phil noted. "What changed? 6 months ago, I got engaged." And suddenly, Megan's voice cracked. Suddenly, everything started falling apart. "My fiancé broke up with me 3 weeks before the wedding. Said I'd been cheating on him, which I hadn't. Then I lost my job. HR said I'd been stealing company funds, which I also hadn't." Her breathing was shallow now, panicked. "Then my landlord evicted me. Said I'd been subletting illegally. And through all of it, Sarah was there, helping me, telling me it would be okay." "Where is Sarah now?" Dr. Phil asked. Megan's face crumbled. "Gone. The day after I lost my apartment, she just disappeared. Blocked my number. Deleted all her social media. It's like she never existed." Dr. Phil pulled out a thick folder. "Megan, you hired a private investigator 2 months ago. You want to tell me what he found?" Megan shook her head. "I don't understand any of it. That's why I'm here. None of it makes sense." "It will," Dr. Phil said quietly. "But you're not going to like it." The audience leaned forward. Dr. Phil opened the folder and pulled out a large sheet of paper covered in dates, names, and connecting lines. He laid it on his desk where the camera could see. "This is a timeline," Dr. Phil said. "Your investigator created it by cross-referencing every major event in your life over the past 7 years with Sarah's actions." He pointed to the top. "Let's start here. March 2017. You met Sarah at a coffee shop. She spilled coffee on you, apologized profusely, bought you a replacement. You became friends. Correct?" Megan nodded. "She felt so bad. She insisted on getting my number so she could make it up to me." "Convenient," Dr. Phil said. "Now look at this. 2 weeks before you met Sarah, you applied for a job at Sterling Marketing. You were the lead candidate, but you never got a call back. Know why?" Megan shook her head. "Because someone called the company pretending to be your previous employer and gave you a terrible reference. The investigator traced the call. It came from a burner phone purchased the same day Sarah accidentally met you." Megan's face went blank. That's not possible." "Let's keep going," Dr. Phil said, his voice steady. "June 2018. You started dating Marcus. Sarah was so supportive, remember? Helped you plan dates. Gave you relationship advice. She was my maid of honor," Megan whispered. "November 2019. Marcus broke up with you. Said he'd seen texts on your phone. Explicit messages to another man. Messages you swore you never sent." "I didn't send them." Megan's voice rose. I showed him my phone. The messages weren't there. He thought I deleted them. He called me a liar." Dr. Phil pulled out another document. "Your investigator recovered your phone records. Someone cloned your SIM card and sent those messages from a duplicate phone. That person was Sarah." The studio erupted in gasps. Megan stood up, sat back down. Her brain couldn't process it. No, Sarah wouldn't. Why would she?" "We're not done," Dr. Phil said. Dr. Phil pointed to another section of the timeline. 2020. You got promoted at your graphic design firm. Best year of your career. Sarah threw you a party to celebrate. Remember that party?" Megan nodded slowly. "At that party, Sarah took a photo of you. You were holding a glass of wine, laughing. She posted it on social media, tagged your company. Seems innocent, right?" "It was innocent," Megan said. "It was just a party. Except Sarah edited the photo before posting it. Photoshopped cocaine on the table in the background. Subtle enough that most people wouldn't notice. But your boss did. You were drug tested the next week." Megan's hand flew to her mouth. "Oh my God. I passed the drug test, but after that, they never trusted me the same way. I got passed over for the next promotion. Because Sarah planted the seed of doubt," Dr. Phil said. "And look at this. 2021. You started dating Jordan. Got engaged 6 months later. Happiest you'd ever been. Sarah was your maid of honor again. Jordan left me, Megan whispered. 3 weeks before the wedding. Said, I'd been cheating with his brother. Had you? No. Megan screamed it. I barely knew his brother. Dr. Phil held up a photo. Your investigator found this in Jordan's email. It's a photo of you and a man in a hotel room. The metadata shows it was taken 2 months before your wedding. Megan looked at the photo and her face went white. That's not me. The woman looks like me, but that's not. It's Sarah, Dr. Phil said, wearing a wig. Your investigator had the photo analyzed. It's definitely her. She staged this photo, sent it anonymously to Jordan from a burner email, and destroyed your engagement. The audience was completely silent. Megan was crying so hard she couldn't speak. Dr. Phil waited. But why? Megan finally choked out. Why would she do this to me? I never did anything to her. Because you didn't do anything to her, Dr. Phil said. Your sister did. Megan thought Sarah's betrayal was personal. She was wrong. Because what Dr. Phil was about to reveal about who Sarah really was and what happened between their families 15 years ago would prove this wasn't friendship. It was calculated revenge for a crime Megan didn't even know had been committed. Drop a comment. Have you ever discovered a friend wasn't who you thought they were? Dr. Phil pulled out another document. This one was older, photocopied from newspaper archives. Megan, your older sister Emily died in a car accident in 2008. You were 13. Do you remember the details? Megan's voice was small. Not really. My parents didn't talk about it much. Emily was driving home from college. Hit a tree. They said she'd been drinking. She had been drinking, Dr. Phil confirmed. But she wasn't alone in the car. There was a passenger, a girl named Anna Chun. She survived with minor injuries. Megan's face went pale. Chun. Sarah's last name is Chun. Sarah's real name isn't Sarah, Dr. Phil said. It's Anna. Anna Chun. And your sister Emily? She wasn't just driving drunk. She was trying to get Anna home safely because Anna had been roofied at a party. Emily was trying to save her. The air in the room became suffocating. Anna's parents didn't see it that way, Dr. Phil continued. They blamed Emily for the accident, for Anna's injuries. Anna spent 6 months in physical therapy, had to drop out of college, and her parents sued your family for medical expenses. I remember that, Megan whispered. My parents lost everything. We had to sell the house. Anna's parents won the case, Dr. Phil said. But it bankrupted your family. And Anna never forgave her sister, even though Emily died trying to help her. Megan shook her head over and over. So she spent 7 years destroying my life because of something my dead sister did? Not because of what Emily did, Dr. Phil corrected. Because Anna's life fell apart after the accident, and she needed someone to blame. Your sister was dead, so she blamed you. Dr. Phil's expression darkened. Megan, there's something else. Something your investigator found that we need to talk about. Megan looked up, her face destroyed. What else could there possibly be? In 2022, you started having health problems. Severe migraines, dizziness, memory issues. You went to multiple doctors. They couldn't figure out what was wrong. Remember? I thought I was dying, Megan said. I went to 6 different specialists. They all said my symptoms didn't match any known condition. Dr. Phil pulled out a medical file. Your investigator subpoenaed your medical records. Someone had been altering them, removing test results, changing medication dosages, making you look like a hypochondriac so doctors wouldn't take you seriously. Megan's breathing stopped. Who? Sarah had access to your medical portal, Dr. Phil said. You gave her your login information when you were hospitalized with food poisoning in 2021. Remember? She said she'd help manage your appointments. Oh my God, Megan whispered. The food poisoning. Did she? Your investigator can't prove it, Dr. Phil said carefully. But the timeline suggests it's possible. The audience was horrified. Someone in the third row put her hand over her mouth. There's more, Dr. Phil said. 6 months ago, right before your engagement fell apart, you started seeing a new therapist. Sarah recommended her. Said she'd been really helpful. Dr. Morrison, Megan said. She was great. Really understood me. Dr. Morrison doesn't exist, Dr. Phil said flatly. The woman you were seeing? That was Sarah. She created a fake therapist identity, rented an office, and conducted sessions with you for 3 months. Megan stood up so fast her chair fell over. What? Everything you told her in confidence about Jordan, about your insecurities, about your passwords and private information. She used all of it to destroy your engagement, to isolate you, to make you dependent on her. Megan's legs gave out. She collapsed back into the chair, her whole body shaking. Dr. Phil's phone buzzed. He looked at it, and his face shifted. Megan, I need to tell you something. Your investigator has been trying to locate Sarah, Anna, for the past month. He found her this morning. Megan looked up, her eyes red and swollen. Where? She's in custody. Arrested 3 hours ago on charges of identity theft, fraud, and cyberstalking. The investigator turned over all the evidence to the FBI. Will she go to prison? Probably, Dr. Phil said. But that's not why I'm telling you this. Anna wrote you a letter. The investigator gave it to me this morning. Do you want to read it? Megan's hands trembled as she took the envelope. She opened it slowly, and her eyes scanned the page. Her face went through a dozen emotions: shock, rage, confusion, grief. What does it say? Dr. Phil asked gently. Megan's voice was barely audible. She says she's not sorry. She says my sister killed her future, so she killed mine. She says, Megan's voice broke. She says she actually liked me, that destroying me was harder than she thought it would be. But she did it anyway because her parents told her she had to get justice for what our family did to theirs. Her parents knew? Dr. Phil asked. Megan nodded, crying. They helped her, funded the whole thing. They thought it was righteous. Revenge for Emily ruining Anna's life. Dr. Phil sat back, and for one of the first times in his career, he looked genuinely shaken. Megan, I want you to hear this clearly. None of this was your fault. You were a child when your sister died. You don't inherit blame for a tragedy you had no part in. But I lost everything, Megan whispered. My job, my fiancé, my health, 7 years of my life. And for what? Because my sister tried to help someone? Because Anna and her family chose revenge over healing, Dr. Phil said. And that's on them. Not you. Not Emily. The screen faded to black, then back in. Dr. Phil's voice, somber. Anna Chen pleaded guilty to 12 federal charges. She was sentenced to 8 years in prison. Her parents were charged as accessories and are awaiting trial. Cut to a photo. Megan at a coffee shop with 2 women, new friends. She's smiling. It's tentative, but real. Dr. Phil continues. Megan's rebuilding her life. Slowly. She's in trauma therapy. Jordan, her ex-fiancé, reached out after seeing the news coverage. They're talking again. No promises. Just talking. His face fills the screen. Megan asked me what she should have seen. What red flags she missed. And the truth is, there weren't any. Anna was meticulous, patient. She played the long game. And that's what makes this so terrifying. He pauses. Some people don't just hold grudges. They build them into entire identities. And the people who love them become collateral damage in a war they never knew was being fought. Here's what I need you to answer. If someone spent years destroying your life for something your family did, something you had no control over, could you forgive them? Because Anna's in prison, but Megan's still living with the damage. And forgiveness isn't about whether Anna deserves it. It's about whether Megan can move forward without it. Drop your answer below. And if this story made you question who you can trust, wait until you hear about the woman who discovered her husband of 19 years wasn't just cheating. He was living with another family in the same town. That's next.